Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning.
How was your
Doctor,
weekend?
but it was excellent, just the way you introduced me. How was yours?
Now, somebody stopped me in the traffic, at the traffic light.
Yes.
And the first person they asked, they said, hi, so Jinx. Then the wife said, oh, what are Jinx? I knew Jinx.
How sweet. You would have just said she's fine.
Good afternoon, she's fine.
Sweet.
It's no longer a family nickname.
I know.
We're
It's
all
not
using it now.
So don't be surprised if someone names a daughter someday, Ojineka.
Oh, that would be lovely. I would love that.
name.
You are beautiful today,
thank you,
Tundu.
darling.
You look regal. I love your hair like this. Always.
Thank you.
You know that.
I do.
All right. Rufai, good morning.
Morning, Archie. How are you?
Happy Monday.
Is there
You know what
anything
that
like
means, right?
I mean, I don't like Mondays. So
Well,
what's
all
to look
right.
forward to about Mondays? All right. Happy Monday to you too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. But you look great, I should say. You look wonderful, just like everybody on the team.
Thank you. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, former President Donald Trump, at his first rally since leaving the White House over the weekend, lambasted the Biden administration's immigration policies and sought to energize Republicans to take back the majority in Congress next year.
My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun.
In the United Kingdom, classified documents containing details about the royal warship HMS Defender and the British military were found at a bus stop over the weekend. The documents detailed Russia's likely reaction to the ship's passage through the Ukrainian waters off the coast of Crimea last Wednesday. And an 11-year-old girl has become Britain's youngest mother after giving birth earlier this month. The 11-year-old got pregnant at the age of 10 and broke the record after more than 30 weeks of pregnancy. Before now, Tressa Middleton, who gave birth in 2006 at the age of 12 after she was raped by her brother, was Britain's youngest mother. In France, Valérie Bacot, who admitted to killing her abusive husband, Daniel Paulette, in 2016, fainted in court in disbelief after hearing she could walk free. According to court documents, Daniel was Valérie's stepfather before they got married and had begun to rape her when she was only 12 years old. In Ethiopia, outrage after a new video emerged showing soldiers passing their phones around to document the executions of unarmed men in the January massacre near the town of Mahiberi, Dego. In Nigeria, a video that captured the moment two women walked on fire during the traditional burial of the late Olu of Warri Kingdom, His Majesty Ogiame Ikenwoli, has made the rounds. Under sports, 23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams' announcement that she will not be participating at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games tops the trend. Finally, under entertainment, Nigeria's Grammy Award winner, Damini Ebunoluwa Ogulu, professionally known as Burna Boy, has made history as the first musician to win the BET Best International Act Award 3 consecutive times. Burna Boy won the category at the just concluded 21st edition of the BET Awards, which took place in Los Angeles, California.
Thank you, everyone.
Rufai, how amazing is this?
Archie, una did, yeah.
I love it.
I mean, but amazing stuff. So, like his middle name implies, Ebunoluwa, he's been indeed a gift, as regards the Nigerian music scene to the world. Grammy Award winner, keeps blazing the trail. Really excited about him. Burna Boy can only go further than that. And the fact that he represents that stock of Afrobeat music, I looked at his chain, his bling there, and I saw that, fella symbol there, and it was really very inspiring and great for me. Congratulations, Burna Boy. You can only get better than this. I mean, multiple Grammy Award winner, that's what we should be looking at next.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Nigeria. Well, let's begin what's trending in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari over the weekend responded to a militant group known as the Niger Delta Avengers, which threatened to attack oil facilities in the South-South region in a bid to cripple the economy. The group, in a statement on Saturday, announced the launch of Operation Humble, a new mission which aims at resuming such attacks in the oil-rich region, which they started back in 2016. The militants claim that the South-South remains the most underdeveloped region in the country, with their needs and interests undermined by the failed Nigerian state. The president's special advisor, Femi Adesina, in response to the threat, described it as unnecessary, claiming that all issues raised by the group were already responded to when the president met with the leadership of the Niger Delta and Ijaw National Congress at the presidential villa last Thursday. Dr. Bati, I'm coming straight to you on this story.
Oh. Okay. Very quickly.
Yes.
The presidency is saying that the protest by the Niger Delta Avengers is unnecessary and that the issues have been addressed at a meeting. I'm sure that the members of the Niger Delta Avengers are not unaware of the fact that a meeting was held. But what are those issues that have been addressed? The Niger Delta Avengers are asking for immediate constitution of the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, which is an issue that we have addressed on this program. And the presidency is saying, or rather the president is saying to the Niger Delta Avengers that that board will be constituted after the forensic audit that was started in 2019 has been concluded. This was a forensic audit that started in 2019. This is 2021. What is the guarantee that that forensic audit will be wrapped up very quickly? The Niger Delta Avengers, they are asking for restructuring, right? The president says, well, that is within the purview of the National Assembly, and that everyone can be rest assured that once the National Assembly, that has already conducted public hearings, closes its assignment on that regard, the president will not hesitate to approve whatever is arrived at by the Nigerian people through the National Assembly. Who knows what the outcome of that restructuring or amendment will be, considering the fact that there is a controversy over even the meaning of restructuring itself. Third, the president has promised the people of the Niger Delta that work will be expedited on the cleanup of the environmental pollution in the Niger Delta. And this Niger Delta militants are saying, well, we've been on this for a very long time, the Ogoni spill. How much progress have we made? Fourth, the president is saying that his government is committed to federal character because the Niger Delta Avengers are saying the people of the Niger Delta are being marginalized. And the president says, no, that is not true. His government is committed to fairness and justice. So where are we at the moment? It looks like the Niger Delta Avengers are not convinced by whatever promises the president made to the leadership of the Ijaw Youth National Congress and the Niger Delta leaders that met with him on Thursday. What makes the situation of great concern is that these Niger Delta militants are saying that they want to return Nigeria to permanent recession by destroying every oil installation in the Niger Delta. Now, in 2016, this same Niger Delta Avengers, they launched what they call Operation Red. Under Operation Red, they wreaked a lot of havoc. Now they are calling Operation Humble. They are launching Operation Humble, under which they say they want to humiliate the Nigerian state. And this time around, this operation is led by a lady called Field Commander Tariesu, Queen of the Creeks, who has just been promoted to the position of a Brigadier General of the Niger Delta Avengers. Now, what even makes this even more serious, more disturbing, is that it's not just Niger Delta Avengers. There's also another group called Reformed Niger Delta Avengers. There's also another group called Niger Delta Liberators. So it's like we are back to the past. And that is why I think that the federal government, beyond just issuing statements, should immediately engage with these boys in the creeks. The meeting that was held was with the leadership of the Niger Delta. But these boys that are in the creeks, they are even saying that their leaders have failed them. Yeah. And if you look at the agenda of the Reformed Niger Delta Avengers, the NDA, and also the Niger Delta Liberators, they are all saying the same thing about the NDDC board, about restructuring, and they are threatening to attack any politician from the Niger Delta who collaborates or supports or identifies with the federal government of Nigeria. I hope they will not carry out their threat. I hope that reason will prevail at the end of the day, because we've been through this path before. And the story was not funny at all. There should be direct engagement.
Right.
Because I don't think the militants of the Niger Delta this time around are prepared or willing to listen to their social, political, and cultural leaders.
Which I think the reason why, I don't know why the president or the special advisor to the president should just disregard the threat as unnecessary if we have been through this before.
I think what he's trying to express is that action has been taken on all their points. I don't think he's been dismissive. However, the action that's been taken is clearly not been taken fast enough, neither is it sufficient. Otherwise, the threats would not arise. For me, it's just so sad that we're still here. There's been the presidential amnesty program. We had a president of Niger Delta extraction, and yet here we are. We have not moved on. So we just always need to remember never to be complacent. These issues continue to arise, and none of the issues that they have highlighted really can be dismissed. The South-South, that really is the breadbasket of this whole country, is treated shabbily, is treated appallingly. The environmental degradation is stark, and really, they cannot be dismissed at all. It's such a shame that we're still here.
Yes, very embarrassing. Rufai, a quick comment.
For me, it's sad that a problem has lingered for over 60 years. And I say 60 years because this same problem that the Niger Delta Avengers are complaining about, the imbalance in the Niger Delta, environmental problems, were the things that made Isaac Adakaboro pick up guns in the 60s and declared a 12-day war against the federation of this country. Same things that a man that had no business at all with activism or anything, he was just content being an artist, providing good content for television, Bassi and Company and the like, Ken Saroriwa, raised and he was killed for. But it seems nothing is going to be done as regards this. Maybe until the Niger Delta Avengers threaten, and then we say it's unnecessary. But was it necessary to have done something in 1956 for people in Oloibiri when they discovered oil there? If you go to Oloibiri, where you have the first well of oil in this country,
all right, hold your thought. We'll have to go on a short break. And when we come back, what's trending on the morning show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the morning show. We're still on What's Trending. Rufai, I'd like for you to land on your thoughts regarding the threat by the Niger Delta militants.
Oji, let's just save time. I think I pretty much made the point.
Okay,
Thanks.
great. All right, perfect. We'll take another story. Over the weekend, President Muhammadu Buhari admitted that the war against illicit drugs in the country was more deadly than the fight against insurgency and banditry. The president's comments came during the official launch of the War Against Drug Abuse, an initiative of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in commemoration of the United Nations International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Drug Trafficking 2021. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who spoke on behalf of the president, urged all Nigerians, traditional institutions, and religious leaders to be vigilant and support the cause and the war against drugs. The chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, also spoke at the launch, raised alarm that Nigerians have become the highest users of cannabis worldwide, and that revelations from kidnapped victims have corroborated with the fact that illicit substances are enablers of insecurity. Tundu, your thoughts on this story?
Well, they definitely are. We just listened to that really chilling confession, the interview with Chidinma Ojukwu, yes, who confessed to the murder of Usifo Ataga. And it was clear from her account that there was some kind of substance abuse involved. So the thinking is generally that these people that carry out these heinous acts cannot possibly do so in their right mind if they were sober, that they're clearly high on something. That is what gives them, that deadens any of their human instincts and enables them to carry out these acts. So to that extent, I completely agree with the president and with the NDLEA. And you'll recall recently there was a bit of a row about requiring drug tests for intending couples. If you want to get married, usually you're told to check for sickle cell anemia, but now drug abuse, it has come to that point, and they must have the statistics, they must have the bird's eye view that most of us thankfully do not. Drug abuse is destroying lives, it's costing lives, it is a serious scourge and it should be addressed. And yes, in Nigeria, cannabis use is illegal, and still we have over 10 million people abusing cannabis.
Worldwide. It's a shocking revelation at this point. We are fighting two wars here. War against drugs and war against insurgency. Both of them are just as horrific.
Twin evils.
Dr. Abati.
I agree with you, Oji, and I do not agree with the distinction supposedly made by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation on behalf of the President at this particular event on Saturday, June 26, which was the United Nations Day against drug abuse. And the theme on that occasion was share facts and save lives. Now, he was supposedly making the distinction that drug abuse is worse than banditry and insurgency. I think both are related. There are two aspects of the same problem, because we've been told that bandits, insurgents, kidnappers, they are not ordinary people. They are on some kind of plane that is drug-induced on a certain level of hallucination, criminals generally. And with the rise in the crime rate in Nigeria, we have also witnessed over the years a corresponding rise in substance abuse in this country, which is very tragic, because many years ago, like 2 decades ago, it used to be convenient to say that Nigeria is a transit point for drugs, and that, Nigerians do not consume, do not take drugs. I mean, as far back as even when I was a secondary school student, we used to have drug abuse clubs where they will come and sensitize people. But somewhere along the line, we got it wrong. Our secondary schools, our universities became centers of drug addiction. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, who was representing the President on Saturday, kept referring to cannabis consumption. No, if the Secretary to the Government of the Federation were to know the entire range of drugs, illicit substances being consumed, particularly by young Nigerians, he would be shocked. And they have all kinds of names for it. In the case of the murder of Mr. Michael Usifu Ataga, Chidinma Adaora Ojukwu referred to Rufus. I'm told that is Rufinol. But there are other substances. And I've heard young people referring to something they call eja, smoke. Once you hear young people speaking in that street language, they call something eja, they call something smoke, they call something rap. And I wonder, what has gone wrong here? And the president, represented by Boss Mustafa, also said, among young people in Nigeria, young people in Nigeria are always going about saying that they are high. They are high. Being high has become an obsession. And these people, they are not high in terms of professional achievement, in terms of educational achievement. They are high in terms of their obsession with mind-altering substances. So, but to have raised the alarm on that day and to have launched a war against drug in Nigeria, what they call the WADA, WDA, War Against Drug Abuse in Nigeria, I think the government should be commended in that regard. The Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency should also be commended. I think another memorable speech that was made there was by the Director General of the N.Delta, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, who has been in that position for 5 months. Since he got there, we have seen a lot of dynamism. He says over 2,000 drug traffickers have been apprehended, about 500 have been jailed. So many, consignments of illicit drugs have been, intercepted, running into about 90 billion naira in a period of just 5 months. That in itself demonstrates the extent. But I hope that the federal government, recognizing the problem, will provide the NDLA under General Marwa's watch the support that it requires, the funding that it requires, and that General Marwa will also be supported to pay attention to the welfare of NDLA staff who are doing a very difficult job, and that a lot more will be done to conscientize, to educate the public, and also particularly parents have a role to play in this. Chidinma Ojukwu was just telling us a few minutes ago that she was introduced to smoking. I don't know whether it was the smoking of cigarettes or marijuana or cocaine or something worse than that, but you never know. You have these children in your house, you don't know what kind of friends they keep, the kind of company they keep, and the kind of criminals whose company they associate with.
Yes. Rufai, I am quite shocked at the rate that, this drug abuse is going around in Nigeria, given our economy at this point, to even think that Nigerians could be the, highest users of cannabis at this point.
I'm not surprised we're having a problem with cannabis. We're having a problem with drug abuse in general. We're having a problem with SK and Loud and Refnol and many things and Tramadol. I'm not surprised. Why? Look at the unemployment rates. All of this relates. A lot of young people are not working. Let's be honest. You go to streets.
Well, where do they get money to purchase the drugs?
You go to streets. They'll steal from other people. And aren't you surprised that there's an increase, upsurge in crime? Because these people will have to steal from other people to be able to get their high. 33% unemployment rate. You don't want drug abuse on the increase. It doesn't happen. Look at the Black American society in America. It's because they've been denied of economic power, and that's why they resort to drugs, gang violence. So it's going to happen. Let's not deceive ourselves. There's a direct relation with factories shutting down in this country and young people getting high on drugs. There's a direct relation. The question is, what will solve it? Let me bust your bubble. This war against drug will not solve it because it's not the approach. Because war against drug just means we're going to take the drugs from people. That's one pronged. It has to be multi-pronged. This economy needs to work for people. There are a lot of underserved people in this economy. You can't increase the level of poverty. You can't impoverish people and expect them not to go to drugs. So this war against drugs, we can give it any moniker we want, but it's not going to work. The economy has to work. Then you now have to build rehabilitation centers. Then you now have to disincentivize the market, the drug market. The incentive is so much, Oji. If a farmer plants cannabis sativa, he can make 25 million naira on his farm. If a farmer plants cocoyam or anything, he can make about 100,000 naira on his farm. So a lot of farmers are not putting up their farms up to plant these hard drugs. You need to disincentivize it. Farmers that are even planting food in the first place cannot reap from their farm because bandits will chase them off their farms.
Right. And
no subvention for them. So you see, the drug problem ties around the Nigerian problem in general. And it needs a holistic solution. Not just declaring war on drugs and tramadol and everything. Even politicians are doing drugs. Politicians, we heard the story of a former vice chairman of a local government in Lagos that was apprehended at the airport.
Right.
For transporting drugs. It's a deeper problem.
Okay. Well, I would like to take our final story in the United Kingdom with Matt Hancock, former health secretary, who have revealed that he is in love with Gina, the woman who he was filmed kissing in his office on May 6th. The former health secretary, who resigned after the footage was leaked by The Sun, following the revelation that he broke COVID-19 restrictions, came under intense criticism on social media and had been described as a hypocrite. Over the weekend, Hancock posted an apology video on Twitter in which he explained the decision to step down, while many Twitter users pointed out that the video was putting them in mind of a rather pertinent meme involving a cartoon character, Homer, in The Simpsons.
I understand the enormous sacrifices that everybody in this country has made, that you have made, and those of us who make these rules have got to stick by them, and that's why I've got to resign. I want to thank people for their incredible sacrifices and what they've done. Everybody working in the NHS, across social care, everyone involved in the vaccine programme, and frankly, everybody in this country who has risen to the challenges that we've seen over this past 18 months.
I want to take a quick reaction. Now, this one says, I wanted him to pull a Homer Simpson at the end and disappear back into the bushes. Tundu, I mean, did you see that apology video where he was standing right in front of the bushes? Wasn't that hilarious?
And I love Homer Simpson. That's actually really funny.
Yes.
Another one that I saw is that Gina has lost her bonus discount. You know, her husband owns bonus.
Oh,
I don't know if Matt Hancock is worth losing your bonus discount because really.
Yeah.
But he'll be back, according to Boris Johnson.
Yeah, well,
he'll be back in public life.
We'll see the story. It'll keep coming up. Well, thank you guys. That's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.